Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli, and this is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went. Hi. The hard thing is looking up here.
Oh, yeah.
And not at ourselves.
You'd think I'd be used to that with vlogging, but I'm not.
Sorry if I have a lisp, guys. I got Invisalign.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, but I'm on my second tray, and this one I feel like I talk better with for some reason.
Yeah, I don't really hear your lisp.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
A coworker of mine who you know, and after I tell you the story, you're going to be like, oh, duh, but I'm not going to say names. Hold on, I had to turn off my vibration.
Okay.
We were going and taking equipment back to... It's also hard because I want to look at you.
I know, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at you.
Shoot. Like you can see me.
We're recording, like we're video recording too, guys, and we have a
webcam,
so we keep looking at the screen instead of
the camera.
So if you want to go watch this episode,
you can. Just realize that we're staring.
We're staring at the wrong spot. So
yeah. Sorry,
it's a work in progress.
But we were taking equipment back, and I rarely go into the office anymore. And he asked me if I was going back. And last week, someone put on Space Jam.
Yes.
Yeah. And they had it on loop. And so I jokingly was like, well, if Space Jam is still on. But with the tray I had in, Space Jam came out like very horribly. And I went, oh, sorry. Did you hear my lisp just then? And he goes, I've been hearing it all day.
That's so funny.
I was like, cool, thanks.
He's like, I'm just trying not to be rude, but oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like, wow, way to make someone feel not self-conscious
Right.
at all.
I mean, that's true. He could have just not said anything.
Yeah.
No worries.
I know. Like, oh, I barely heard it. I've been hearing it all day. Can you stop talking?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then I'm over here, like, getting over it. I don't even know what it was. It started off as I'm 100% sure allergy laryngitis, right? Your just voice goes away when you have allergies. But then I got sick. So I don't know if it was pre-sick or whatever. My voice was gone. And it's not all the way back yet. So if it sounds like a man talking right now.
Hi. How are you?
That's about where I'm at. And I have been for 2 weeks now.
I've got a list. She's a man. I almost said she's got a man.
Maybe one day. Oh, man. Alrighty.
Okay. And so, sorry we didn't have a Minisode last week. It was supposed to be our Water for Elephants Minisode.
Yes, I was in Arizona celebrating my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary. And so we just couldn't make time to record.
Yeah, everything was crazy. And the times to try to record, I realized I was like, nope, not happening.
I'll take the blame for that one. Sorry, guys.
But we're still going to do the Water for Elephants. I almost said questionnaire. Discussion questions.
There you go.
That are in the back of this book.
Ooh, you flipped a lot of pages. There's a lot of them.
No. There's first a conversation with the author.
Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. But then we go to, voila, book group discussion questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. To what extent do the chapters concerning the elderly Jacob enhance the chapters recounting the young Jacob's experiences with the Benzini brothers circus? In what ways do the chapters about the young Jacob contribute to a deeper understanding of the elderly Jacob's life?
Well, didn't we agree that we didn't like the flipping and back and forth?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I guess, I mean, it gave perspective on like when he got his concussion.
Yeah.
We
it made sense why
knew-
he was.
Yeah.
slipping back.
And so,
But I honestly think we could have done without.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Give me like maybe at the start and the end.
Yeah, I would have liked that.
Kind of like the movie. I wonder what we chose. How does the novel's epigraph, the quote from Dr. Seuss's Horton hatches the egg, apply to the novel? What are the roles and importance of faithfulness and loyalty in Water for Elephants? In what ways does Gruen contrast? Okay, we're going to have to answer that.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's like 6 questions.
I was like, holy crap. I thought, because the last one like tied together. And when we did the perks for elephants, God damn it, I can't. When we did the perks questions, I asked that one and it all related to each other. So I stopped. So that's why I just tried to ask it all. And then I was like, holy crap. So first, I'm going to start with reading the epigraph.
Okay.
I meant what I said and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%.
I love that movie, you guys. My gosh, it's on our list. Don't worry.
But how does it apply to the novel?
The elephant was super faithful. She freaking killed the guy that was hurting her. And then, but she,
that was hurting her and hurting Marlena. And going after Jacob.
Yeah. I just love elephants.
What are the roles and importance of faithfulness and loyalty in Water for Elephants?
I mean, it's important.
How?
I feel like I'm in English class all over again.
I was just going to say, Allie would be horrible at book clubs.
Oh my gosh.
Yet she signed up for this. Okay, did you just hear my list?
Yes. I mean, we basically are a book club. Didn't we decide that?
When we did the perks one, yes. So, but...
what was the question?
Feels like an English class when you're writing the paper and you just ramble on hoping that you answered it.
That's exactly what you're about to get.
What are the roles and importance of faithfulness and loyalty in Water for Elephants?
I think that, well, faithfulness is how, what's his name? Jacob treats Marlena like they're, or loyalty. I don't know. Faithful or loyal?
Loyal.
Dang. Yeah, that's my answer. I'm not even going to try and BS it.
I'm still trying to think. I'm like, I think loyalty definitely comes in like Jacob with the animals. Like we said, Rosie with the 2. I really want to come up with like a really deep and meaningful one for faithfulness, but I'm like,
faithfulness. None of them are faithful. She freaking cheats on her husband, and
I'm not talking about faithful like that. I'm thinking faithful like Jacob trusted his gut and he jumped on the train and then.
Oh, okay. I guess that's true. He did that.
I'm talking about. Goodness. In what ways does Gruen contrast the antagonisms and cruelties of circus life with the equally impressive loyalties and instances of caring? That's a good question.
So, like, how does he, like, balance it?
How does she balance it? Yeah.
Sorry. Whoops.
Obviously, the antagonisms and cruelties is August with Rosie and with people.
Everything.
Yeah.
The whole, no, you're good. The whole
circus.
All the animals and cruelty and everything.
All the people, too.
Yeah.
Like,
throwing them off the train. And, yeah. It was just sad to think that that was freaking. Do you think that's really how it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Why were you looking at me like that?
Because you're not really answering the question.
Well, I wasn't done.
Oh. I was like, yes, good. We've got the first part of this question.
Goodness. Okay, and then how does she contrast the antagonisms with the equally impressive loyalties and instances of caring? Honestly, she puts scenes back to back.
she goes from a scene where August is just cruel to, but look, Rosie is cute and stealing lemonade.
Yeah. And then like when August hurts the animals, then Jacob comes and takes care of them.
Yeah.
So,
or like when, nope. I was basically just going to say the exact same thing, but I lost my like train of thought. I was going to talk about the scene where Jacob's going to shoot
I
the
was
horse.
legit just thinking that too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah. But where August is like, no. And he's like, no, I'm putting the horse out of its misery.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, exactly. August is like that too, but with Marlena too, where Jacob's like, go find Marlena, as in to be with her.
oh yeah.
And he's like, she has no say in this. I just told you to kill the horse, so kill the horse.
Such a mean man.
Could you imagine if your husband said that?
I would have left him years ago.
Forever ago, yeah. Okay. Who did you, upon reading the prologue, think murdered August? What effect did that opening scene of chaos and murder have on your reception of the story that follows? We kind of talked about that.
We did talk about it.
Yeah, we definitely thought it was Marlena.
Uh-huh.
Allie was so confused after she got to the end of the book that she changed it in the podcast.
I did. I seriously did. I was like,
I'm incorrect.
How did I not write that down? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the effect that it had was then the whole entire book, I just kept like
waiting for Marlena's snap.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, Marlena's about to go crazy. And I was like, dude, this is who he falls in love with? How is that even possible?
I was like, and then at the end, when, obviously it's about to go crazy, right? They've led up to it where they're eating dinner or lunch.
The whole stampede
but it's like, Marlena was like, it didn't seem like she was going crazy at that moment. So I'm like, how is she just snap? Like, what happened?
Well, like when she said, or when she told Jacob she was pregnant in the book, that's when I was like, oh, maybe she's like really protective of the baby. Like maybe he's doing something to her. Like,
oh yeah, that would be a good guess.
Yeah. But then that was like, but then I also in my head was like, oh my gosh, but that's so stressful. And so like, she's pregnant. She shouldn't be doing that.
And then we find out.
Yeah. And then the elephant doesn't. I was like, oh, that's how they get away with that. Okay. In connection with Jacob's formal dinner with August and Marlena in their stateroom, Jacob remarks, August is gracious, charming, and mischievous. To what extent is this an adequate characterization of August? Do you want me to continue asking the other three questions? Okay.
Nope. Well, I think it's very accurate. Like, he is charming and he is like, what are the other ones?
Gracious, and
mischievous. And he is all those things, but
he's more mischievous than the other two, but he's so charming that you sometimes overlook she wrote it so well in the beginning too, because like he would be a little bit of a dick, but then he'd be super, super nice. Yeah. So then you'd be like, benefit of the doubt. But then as the story progresses, he gets worse and worse. So then you're just like, oh, I don't like this guy. Yeah. So it's hard. Yeah. How would you expand upon Jacob's observation?
Well, we kind of just said it. He's a dick. So, beats up animals. He's no friend of mine.
Allie just answered the next question. How would you characterize August?
There. So I didn't answer the previous question. I answered the next one.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I would say.
You answer the previous one.
How would you expand upon Jacob's observations? I think I would also add that he's a hard worker. Like, he's almost dedicated to his job. Because even though he's rude and horrible to the animals and everyone on the circus, his main goal for the circus is for it to do well.
Yeah, I think so.
So, goal-oriented, maybe? I don't know.
That works.
Yep. Which situations in the novel reveal his true character?
When he beats up the friggin' elephant.
Or Marlena.
Or Marlena, or doesn't want to give the animals food.
Or when he freaking does the thing with Rex, with Jacob.
Yeah. It's just evil.
August says of Marlena, not everyone can work with Liberty horses. It's a God-given talent, a sixth sense, if you will. Both August and Jacob recognize Marlena's skills, her sixth sense, in working with the horses. In what ways does that... God.
This is a long question.
It's a long question, and sixth sense is really hard for me. And it's made me do this like 4 times now. In what ways does that sixth sense attract each man? Yeah, you hear it now.
I do now.
Should I ask the last question too?
I got distracted with the sixth sense. I don't even know what you just read.
In what ways does that attract each man?
The sixth sense?
Yeah.
That she's good with horses?
Yeah.
How does that attract?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's what first got Jacob because animals. And then
because he's drawn to animals. He wants to take care of them too.
And then she just looked beautiful doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then with August, it's like that's a moneymaker. And so that's why he liked it.
Good call. Yeah. Yep. How do August and Jacob differ in terms of the importance each places on Marlena's abilities? We kind of just said that. One moneymaker, the other is like, oh, you actually care for these animals. After Jacob puts Silver Star down, August talks with him about the reality of the circus. The whole thing's illusion, Jacob, he says. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's what people want from us. It's what they expect. How does Gruen contrast the worlds of reality and illusion in the novel? Oh, I feel like I should ask all these questions. Okay. How does Gruen contrast the worlds of reality and illusion in the novel? Is there anything wrong with pandering to people's need for illusion? Why do we crave the illusions that the circus represents?
Well, I think it's kind of true. Like, I don't really want to know all the behind the scenes stuff. I want to just go enjoy the show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to know some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm paying, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to know that you're beating up animals. No, this is like now that they're, animals are not involved anymore.
So tell me how the clown puts the shoes on.
Yeah, type of thing. I was like, just give me a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer any of those questions?
Kind of. You didn't answer the how does Gruen contrast the worlds of reality and illusion in the novel? Oh, and why do we crave the illusions that the circus represents? I think that's just because it's a way to escape.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. These are hurting my head. Guys, I'm still getting over being sick. Give me a break. My brain is foggy. And last night, I stayed up late because I was typing up our Da Vinci Code stuff. Yeah. And then, so I went to bed at 1. Oof. And because now for some reason Tyler sleeps in my bed all the time. It's so annoying, but
no,
whatever. Me getting in bed woke him up, and then he was up for another 2.5 hours. So I'm running on like no sleep.
Go in your own bed, kid. I'm going to sleep.
It's too scary, is what he says.
Really?
I'm like,
is he afraid of his bed right now?
No, he says everything's scary if he doesn't want to do it.
Oh.
I'm like, put your pants on. No, it's too scary. I'm like, shut up. Do it.
It's scarier seeing you naked.
So I'm trying.
That's fun.
These are a lot of big words for my sleep deprived brain. And this happened the night before. The night before he was up getting sick.
Yeah.
So I'm running on like
bare minimum.
Yes. So bear with me, listeners.
I'm barely bearing with you. Okay. How does Gruen contrast the worlds of reality and illusion in the novel?
Oh, you go.
What were you going to say?
So how she contrasts them. So how is it? So we know the behind the scenes stuff because obviously it's the whole book, right? Mm-hmm. But then we also get the show. Mm-hmm. So it's not like she only is focused on the behind the scenes. And so that's, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I was going to say is that kind of like with the other one that we already said, she does a good job of putting it back to back where we get a chunk of behind the scenes, but then we go into like, oh, but look, we're at the circus.
Right.
Talking about hard words and hurting your brain. Just wait.
Oh, no.
Reflecting on the fact that his platitudes and stories don't hold his children's interest, the elderly Jacob notes, My real stories are all out of date. So what if I can speak firsthand about the Spanish flu, the advent of the automobile, world wars, cold wars, guerrilla wars, and Sputnik? That's all ancient history now. But what else do I have to offer? How might we learn to appreciate the stories and life lessons of our elders and encourage people younger than ourselves to appreciate our own?
I love listening to stories from people who like firsthand.
Yeah.
And I remember doing, I think it was like 4th grade or something like that. No, maybe it was middle school.
I think I know what you're going to talk about.
Where we had to interview like a grandparent or something like that.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was like 6th, 7th grade bio.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No, isn't that weird? It was freaking science.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
But
I remember being in the science room. So yeah, it was okay. But it's like,
I interviewed my grandma.
I interviewed my grandpa, and it was like listening to stories about how he was they were the first family on the block to get a television.
No.
And how it was like
Cute.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that. And it's like, I definitely think listening to our elders and like stories is very important.
I do feel like generations now are losing that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're very much about, they have their iPads, they have all their stories that they want in front of them. They don't have to, like, we had to sit and wait for stories.
Right.
So, sure, we'll listen to yours in
We're at
between.
the grandparents' house and there's
Yeah.
nothing to do. So we
Uh-huh.
have to listen to
Yeah.
the stories.
Yeah.
So I feel like we didn't really appreciate them.
No.
But looking back, it's like, that's so cool.
Girl, I can't even remember anything that I got answered from my grandma about
was
that trip.
the
thing.
only thing I remember.
I know she was a nurse.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there you go.
And we're from the Czech Republic.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
Other than that,
and I wish now she's not here and I can't go and ask her anything.
know.
So,
so it's just, but these kids these days is like, oh my
No.
gosh, I'm so bored.
Yeah.
Give me my iPad.
yeah, they're not going to know anything about the past, unfortunately.
Nope.
Unless they learn it in history. And let's be honest, did I learn anything in history either? No. Looking at himself in the mirror, the old Jacob tries to see beyond the sagging flesh, but he claims it's no good. I can't find myself anymore. When did I stop being me? How would you answer that question for Jacob or any individual or for yourself? Whoa, we're getting deep.
Well, I mean, apart from like physical features, you really like, I feel like I would lose myself if I stopped doing things that I love. And so like once he got put into the home,
He wasn't with Marlena anymore.
Yeah.
He wasn't with animals.
he lost himself. And so, I mean, there's the obvious physical features of like, oh my gosh, I had no wrinkles and now I'm old and have wrinkles. But I think more, that's what I would think is.
That's what you would tell yourself, though?
What is the question?
That's hilarious because you don't even go and do shit for yourself now.
I bought
Hey,
myself a cup
you.
today.
Woo!
Stay tuned for this fascinating story in the Da Vinci Code. I'll tell you all about it.
The question is what would you say to Jacob or any individual or yourself for saying that?
Do something you love. That's what I'll tell them. And do I do that?
No.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, I do things I like. I mean, I don't go through life like miserable. Like right now, I'm working on Riley's school yearbook, and or it's hard work and stressing me out. At the same time, I'm having a freaking blast with it. So it's like, because I make myself a Shutterfly yearbook for every year. So it's like I enjoy it, but it's not what I would qualify as
No,
me
I
time.
wouldn't either.
Right.
It's
And
working.
so I'm
and
not
stressing you out.
right, but I guess that's not what I'm saying is do
No.
me time stuff. I'm saying
No.
do stuff you enjoy.
Yeah.
So like when I go help out in her classroom, that's not something for me, but it's something I enjoy. So like continue to do stuff you enjoy.
What would you just say to someone who's in a home who couldn't go and do things that they enjoy like that? like Jacob. Break free from those.
Sucks. No, just kidding. That's so hard because you could say so many things like, well, why don't you, if you really enjoyed, I don't know, say something.
Say it to me.
Yeah, it's like tell me something that they might enjoy, and I have to come up with something.
Oh, movie. No. Laser tag.
Okay. They really enjoyed laser tag. That's what they felt like was like their thing. You could say crap like, oh, you know what? You could go get a like fake laser gun thing and then just do. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there to like make pretend, but like it's not the same. I don't know how you would address that where they physically cannot go do something.
I think I would talk about their spirit and about how emotionally you're probably still you.
I feel like I would get depressed. Be like, I
know. Oh yeah,
I
would.
Can't do it.
I know.
But yeah,
look back on those memories.
Yeah. Like, oh gosh. But you're right. I mean, it's lose.
Don't get old.
I don't want to get old. I'm done.
In what ways and to what degree do Uncle Al's In what ways and to what degree do Uncle Al's maneuvers and practices regarding the defunct Fox Brothers circus reflect traditional American business practices? Oh, because they pick and they pick and they want. It's so, the company that I work for is one that's big, and just working here, it makes me realize that all the bigger companies, what they're wanting to do is become the biggest so that they can buy the other ones. They want to be the sole big guy.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's also stupid because, like, what's going to happen is you're going to become the big guy and all these people are going to lose their jobs. You're not going to hire all these people. So then you're only picking certain people.
They just care about the money.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. How would you compare his behavior with that of major businessmen and financiers of today? I would say it's spot freaking on.
Yep.
What alternative actions would you prefer? Someone who's going to be nice. Someone who's not going to be a dick.
Nice to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we need the world to be nicer. So the big wigs should be the ones who do start.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got the power, so do something with it.
Agreed. Yeah. As he lies on his bedroll after his night with Barbara and Nell, Jacob cannot empty his mind of troubling visions, and he reflects that the more distressing the memory, the more persistent its presence. How might the elderly Jacob's memories corroborate or contradict this observation? What have been your experiences and observations in this regard?
I feel like this is mixed. Because whereas if it's like a traumatic experience,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's going to stick with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for sure. If it's just like a bad experience, I feel like good experiences, like you'll remember those more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you go to the store or whatever and you have a bad experience with a cashier, but then you have a good experience, like you'll remember the good experience way more than the bad one, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so don't remember what the question was, but I remember that was part of it. Was that part of it?
How might the elderly Jacob's memories corroborate and contradict this observation? And what have been your experiences and observations in this regard? And it was the more distressing the memory, the more persistent its presence.
Okay. I feel like I did my 2 cents there.
I know I stick on distressing memories more often than anything.
It's those 2 a.m. thoughts where you can't fall asleep because you're like, oh my gosh, I said that 7 years ago. I can't believe I said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Still to this day, there's things that I'm horrified I did. Like,
I'll share one. When I was, I want to say like 7, we went to visit my family in Arizona, and my cousin Brittany and I we were trying to prank the neighborhood boys, right?
Okay.
And she's like, I don't remember who came up with it, but we basically were gonna say that I said Bloody Mary in the mirror, and it happened, like it was true.
Okay.
And so like we were all convincing and everything like that, and these boys were kind of like, oh my gosh, like type of thing. I felt so freaking guilty, so guilty the whole trip, that I felt so nauseous that my family self-diagnosed me that I was lactose intolerant because I was like, my stomach just really hurts. And they're like, I wonder if it's because she's been, drinking the milk and everything like that, because my cousin wanted me to stay the night at her house. And I just felt so guilty.
Oh no.
That I was like, I can't, I got it. Yeah, I'm going to stay home. So like, but I couldn't tell her the truth. And so that was when I was 7. 23 years later, I still feel bad about it. My gosh. I don't know if that was anything related to what we were talking about, but
yes. Mine were not. Mine are like, oh my God, I pushed instead of pulled. In his Carnival of the Animals, Ogden Nash wrote, elephants are useful friends. In what ways is Rosie a useful friend? What is Rosie's role in the events that follow her acquisition by Al?
Elephants are always useful friends.
But why? In what ways was Rosie useful?
She killed August.
Yeah, and she also brought them in money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
After Jacob successfully coaches August in Polish commands for Rosie, he observes, it's only when I catch Rosie actually purring under August's loving ministrations that my conviction starts to crumble, and what I'm left looking at in its place is a terrible thing. What is Jacob left looking at? How does it pertain to August's personality and Jacob's relationship with August? And what makes it a terrible thing? Well,
by August doing well, Marlena's still like, oh my gosh, he's like, I do love him type of thing. And so I'm sure that's not easy for Jacob to see.
My thought is he's looking at a guy who's actually like taking care of his animal. His cousin Jacob's animal.
Okay.
And it makes it a terrible thing because he knows what he's capable of. He's like, obviously right now you're doing good and she's doing good and this is great, but this is going to crumble soon. And I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How did you react to the red lighting of Walter and Camel and 8 others off the trestle? How might we see Uncle Al's cutthroat behavior has an indictment of a lifetime spent feigning emotions to make a buck? In the words of one reviewer. I love that they put that in the question. Yeah, I was sad.
I was sad.
I was so devastated. I really wanted them all to make it.
I know, it was really sad.
I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, they have such a great plan for everyone. And then they did not. After the collapse of the Benzini Brothers Circus and Uncle Al's having done a runner, Jacob realizes, not only am I unemployed and homeless, but I also have a pregnant woman, bereaved dog, elephant, and 11 horses to take care of. What expectations did you entertain for Jacob and Marlena's and their menageries future after they leave the Benzini Brothers Circus? How do the elderly Jacob's memories of Marlena and their life together confirm or alter those expectations? Honestly, I thought they would just join another circus or start their own circus or go into like a zoo or a farm.
My first thought was zoo. But or farm. Actually, I think my first thought was farm. But yeah, it's like, and I mean, they did what we thought.
Yeah, so they did. Spot on. At the end of the novel, Jacob exclaims, "So what if I'm 93? Why the hell shouldn't I run away with the circus?" What would you project to be the elderly Jacob's experiences after he runs away with the circus the second time? How does his decision reflect what we have learned about his early years? I think he would have freaking loved it.
I think he would have loved it, but I don't think he would have done well.
No, I think they would have made him like the ticket taker or something.
Yeah. But could you imagine? I mean, like, I don't know. if you were like the vet for however many years,
Oh,
and
he
now
would
you're just
hate
sitting there
that.
taking tickets, I don't know if he would have enjoyed that a whole bunch.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Plus,
But I bet they might have been able to find something with the animals for him to do.
Probably. Just sit and play with them. I got this job on lock. Let me play with them. But I also think that he would have loved that a lot of the cruelty wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because he, back in his day, experienced all the cruelty. Mm-hmm. And when he goes to run away with it, I'm sure there's still some cruelty there. Mm-hmm. But it's not to the point that it was.
Right. Yep.
Like, I doubt they're red lighting people.
I hope not.
Old man's first one to go.
That's horrible.
In the words of one reviewer, Water for Elephants explores the pathetic grandeur of the Depression-era circus. In what ways and to what extent do the words pathetic grandeur describe the world that Gruen creates in her novel?
I mean, it's the circus. Like,
it's the circus and the Depression. They're feeding their lions and tigers
moldy meat.
Old meat, yeah. They don't have money to pay their workers, so they're throwing people off of trains. But it's also grand because they buy an elephant and they have this show that they got to put on in XYZ.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Don't judge us for not knowing anything about Jacob. Ironically.
I know.
Twilight Jacob, I got you.
Yes.
Anyone else? I don't got you.
Oh, man, you guys.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Yes.
Sorry we took a break. We kind of gave you a little bit of a longer one. Not too much, but...
Nah. I'll probably edit it down.
Yeah,
sure.
It's probably going to be exactly how it always is. So sorry, guys.
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned for Monday. We're doing...
Paper...
Da Vinci Code. No, that's this last one that just came out, right? Guys, we will get the schedule straight one day. When does this come out?
This comes out on Wednesday.
So yeah, Da Vinci Code's next.
I have to edit this by Monday?
No, this comes out Wednesday. So you have to edit it by next Monday. Right?
Yeah. I'm with you now. In my head, we were talking about what's coming out on this Monday.
No.
Goodness. Guys. Okay. I hope you enjoyed what just came out. Paper Towns. I hope you enjoyed.
No, Paper Towns comes after Da Vinci Code.
Oh, fuck, it does. Fuck.
The Giver.
Oh my God. I just reshared our picture.
We're
Jeez.
just checking our notes over here, our schedule.
I hope you enjoyed The Giver. I loved The Giver.
Interesting.
I'm excited. I got the series in my room now. I should show you how big they are because they're.
You did show me.
Oh, I did? Oh, yeah. I took the picture. I forgot. Because I also took the picture of the map.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
Did you put that in circle?
I think.
Okay.
I hope. Yeah. And then I hope you enjoy Da Vinci Code. Another one of my favorites.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed, rate, and reviewed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madam Ashen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast. See you next time.